Hi dear. I've been starting at the time Abrameliin Diary, and I realized about how unless we revisit something like that, we can create nostalgia, and things become different from what is really like. And starting to read it again, it's like ripping off a band-aid of a wound, and now when I read back day by day, one day at a time, I just feel like there is something that why didn't I know this? Why didn't I know that? And then there is also the other part that I'm happy to that angels told me to start revisiting the diary right now, since I'm more than a year behind now. Since that means that the Abrameliin, like my first Abrameliin, it can't be something like a fiction of my mind, where something gets better or something gets worse, or but it is, while I still feel the emotions when I start reading the diary, it becomes raw. And yet, even if it has gone a year, I can look back, why didn't I think of that? Why did I do that? Why didn't I do that? Why was I stupid? That kind of thing that is happening. And yet again, I think that since the angels told me before I started Abrameliin, they told me to write it down exactly straight after the ritual. Just take a pen and write everything down. No censoring of the words, even if I have to censor out names and things when I am retelling the story on WordPress. But it is that it must be as it felt, but I've been feeling a bit overwhelmed how clearly my soul remembers every step of the way. My brain doesn't remember it exactly, but my soul does, and there is something, I don't know what it is really, but it can't become nostalgic. It's a part of me, and that is a living thing of who I am now and the change from within. So in a way that this might be true magic, that I'm not allowed to sit there and create, when somebody goes fishing and in reality they fish up a fish that is, let's say, 1 kilo. 5 years later the fish is 10 kilos, and that way that happens to a lot, especially when they are talking on forums, that one tiny little thing becomes something huge, and so on, and then they compete with each other. So what do you think about it, since there is something that it is still raw, and that rawness is maybe the necessary thing to keep it real, so that it can integrate into my soul with my new being, if we let's say it like that. I feel it in my heart that I do not know. And the first time around, I had 7 years of complete chaos after performing the rituals. So I went in with open eyes, and I knew that this won't be an easy thing redoing the rituals, since you have more clarity and you also aren't as easily overwhelmed by your ego when you do it a second time, since you know it's hard, you know it's tough, you know it's painful, and you know it's boring. And I gave it my all. And yet there aren't really words to describe everything I felt. But I just wonder if any of you have had the thing that unless you revisit truly honestly, and it is quite, since I haven't forgotten the emotions from within my heart, that there is something that it can't become nostalgia or like a dream-like thing, that it becomes real and it's like anchored into me this time around, instead of being something as a teenager versus to now that it is a part of me in a different way. So this was a long thing, and we have Prince here purring next to this microphone. I don't know if it takes it, but anyway, love from us all and purse from Prince, and have a magical day. Bye for now.